Hey kiddos, for today's activity, we're gonna make a dinosaur painting. You're gonna need some paints and some paper. So more precisely, you're gonna need a larger piece of paper to protect your table, as well as a smaller piece of paper to make your painting. We're also gonna need a palette to mix all of our different colored paints. So I'm looking at my paints here. I think we're gonna need some green to make our dinosaur, some brown and some orange, and also some red to make our volcano. We can also choose some other colors like yellow and black to make some mixtures as well. We'll also need a few paintbrushes and a towel so we can wipe our fingers if we get any paint on them. Great, so we're gonna take our first sheet of paper here, grab your pencil, and we're gonna start drawing our dinoscape. So basically, we're gonna have our T-Rex and then our Pteranodon up on the left. So to start with our T-Rex, we're basically gonna take our pencil here and start making his body. So go ahead and take your pencil and kind of make a soft egg shape. It's like kind of like an oval circle. So up and around. Perfect. Don't make him too big. And I know T-Rexes are quite big, but he can't take up the whole page. We need room for the volcano and whatnot. So then we're going to take our pencil and kind of drag it down and up, which makes his dinosaur tail. And then we have to make his big paw. So one paw like this, and then his little foot with his toes up and over like an L. Perfect. And then we're going to make his second paw, which is going to jut slightly out because he's running. He's running to catch some food. So you see I'm making it slightly jut out, like a 40-degree angle. Boom. And his foot is running out. Great. So then here I'm just making a quick little arm here. His neck. And then I'm going to make his head. Up and around, it's going to kind of go through and then outwards because Tyrannosaurus Rex heads go oop, a little bit out like that. And then that's his mouth. So kind of like these aggressive teeth, and then his eye. Great. So now I'm going to do on the upper right-hand side rather here, I'm going to have the Pteranodon, which is kind of like this like crazy flying bat dinosaur. So obviously T-Rex wants to eat him. So we're going to do this kind of circle, kind of looks like a little jelly bean pebble. And then his wings are going to jut out from the pebble. So they kind of look like bat wings, just like that. So jut them out, make the right one look just like the left, very geometric, and then back into his body, just like that. So then we're going to draw him a little bit of a neck and a head as well. And he's got a little bit of a beak. So he's kind of like a flying bat beak. Perfect. So basically now what we're going to do is we're going to paint and outline our animals. So grab your paintbrush, and we have a few colors here for our various dinosaurs and for the dinoscape. So I'm going to grab a bit of water, dip into my green paint. I'm going to start making the grass. So take your green paint and just drag it along the lower half of the page. This is basically going to be like the big field, the kind of prairie where the dinosaurs are living. So run it all alongside the bottom. You can even go over your dinosaur because we're going to draw over him anyway. Perfect. Right over him. To have a nice big grassy field for our T-Rex to run around in. Perfect. And try and make it kind of even with the other side. Up there. Our T-Rex is going to be green anyway, so it's perfect. Awesome. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little volcano up here on the upper left-hand side. So when dinosaurs were roaming the planet, there was volcanoes everywhere. And we're going to use our brown paint to just squeeze a little bit into your palette. Awesome. Little squeeze. Take a bit of water. Clean my fingers. And we're going to draw him on the left-hand side, right behind our dinosaur. So basically, volcanoes were kind of erupting everywhere. And I'm going to kind of just draw it right there. It's like a mountain, right from where the green starts. Up and around. It's got a flat top where the lava comes out. And then it's brown inside. So just keep drawing it nice and brown. And then basically this piping hot lava comes right out of the volcano. It's like one of the hottest substances that exists on planet Earth. And, you know, volcanoes still exist today. They just erupt not as frequently as before, but they definitely still do exist. So now we have this volcano. It's going to create like a real prehistoric kind of context. It's going to look like a really real kind of dino landscape. Add some water, and now I'm going to make the lava that's coming out of my volcano. So add a little bit of red because it's fire. It's really hot. Like I said, it's one of the hottest substances that exists in the world. It kind of takes this hot molten lava from the center of the earth and it pushes it through. So in order to make the lava, I think a little bit of red and some yellow. That'll make it look like really fiery hot. Perfect. So it's kind of just like exploding out. Just have it kind of explode and spritz out. And now we have to work on our dinosaur, who's kind of running away from the lava and also trying to catch his pteranodon. So we're going to make him dark green. So if you don't have dark green, you can use regular green and mix in a little bit of black. But I have a little bit of dark green here ready to go. I'm going to take one of my paintbrushes, make sure it's cleaned off. Up one of my skinnier ones, I think, because it needs a little bit more detail than the thicker one. Dab some water. Grab a little bit of the darker green. And then we're going to start outlining him. You can see, we can still see the sketch that we did before coming out from the brighter green. So let's just outline his body here. Up and around there. See, we can still see the line from where we originally drew him. Just take your paint and wrap it around, and then fill him in. First, we're going to do his body. I think he's got really rough, kind of dark green skin. Would be amazing if we could see one today, just at the Natural History Museum and in books. So we're going to make his body really nice and dark green. And then his tail, his massive tail, which has a lot of strength. He can kind of just push predators out of his way with it. Really strong tail. And then his feet, we're going to do afterwards. Perfect. Nice and pointed. Yeah, make sure you have that green really nice and dark throughout. Perfect. Let's grab a little bit more of that dark green. And down, down, down to make his first foot. And then he's got that kind of claw foot because T-Rex, have these kind of crazy toenails that, they're kind of claws. They grab into the surface to make them run faster. They can also use them to grab, food and predators. So they have this kind of aggressive claw-like thing to capture the pterodon up there. Then take your next leg. T-Rexes, they're absolutely enormous, but they're crazy fast runners. They have so much strength. And they use that tail to really give them momentum. So our T-Rex is in full movement. He is after that bird. He definitely wants to have his dinner tonight. A little more water. I mean, after all the running he's doing, he's got to be exhausted, and he definitely needs that food to kind of replenish him. We're going to do the outline right here of his head. Up and around the mouth. Make sure that the opening of his mouth is there so you can see the teeth. Awesome. He's starting to look really scary. Perfect. So we're going to outline him really nice and dark green. If he's too light green, he's going to look more like a not so scary. I think kind of the darker he is, the more dark green, the more authentic he'll be of a T-Rex. Perfect. Awesome. So I think our T-Rex is almost pretty much done. And now we're going to work on the Pteranodon. So the Pteranodon is a completely different color than the T-Rex. He's going to have these big yellow wings and then this kind of red body and this kind of yellow beak. So he really stands out on the sky. So I'm going to take one of my paintbrushes. I'm going to make it slightly smaller than my T-Rex paintbrush because he's a bit of a smaller fella. And paint right inside of the wings in yellow. You know, and again, a lot of us don't know what colors, you know, the dinosaurs were because it was such a long time ago. I mean, we're pretty sure that T-Rexes were green, but, you know, I think this Pteranodon, we can have a little bit more fun with what his wings looked like and the exact colors that they had. So that's his beak right there. And now I'm going to rinse my paintbrush. I'm going to make his body nice and fiery red. So the fact that he's so bright, you know that the T-Rex is looking up at that prey and, you know, he's very, very vulnerable up there in the sky. He looks like delicious food to that T-Rex. So there I'm just painting his head red, and you see kind of works into his beak. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to outline our T-Rex. So I'm just looking for my dark green marker here to work around him so it really pops out. And same thing for our Pteranodon. So first thing I'm going to do is grab my marker. If you have a black or a dark green, that works. I'm going to use this dark green one. And then literally just go around all of the places that you painted. Draw a line all around it, and it's going to make it look full. All of the little areas where, you know, the paint might not be completely smooth, it's going to help just fill it out and look like a professional painting. And then draw right down there, up and around. It's also going to create depth. So the T-Rex is going to be like popping out at you and look extra scary. So maybe you don't want to show this to your little sister. She might have a little panic attack. This is something you can have in your room and show to your friends. I don't think your little sisters are going to like it. Perfect. So now we can outline our Pteranodon. I'm going to try and use this yellow. But you know what? I don't think it's really working to pop out the wings I want to. I think I'm going to change colors and use this black here so he really pops out. There we go. See, he's really popping out there. So I'm just going to outline the whole length here of my Pteranodon. Up and around the wings, around the body, around the right wing, up, and give him a little eye because he definitely needs to be able to see while he's flying. Awesome. Now I'm going to take my paintbrush, take a little bit of black paint. I'm going to give my dino a little eye, some nostrils to breathe, some scary teeth. And we're done. Awesome job, you guys. So little guys, here's our totally awesome prehistoric dinosaur painting. I hope you had a really fun time today making it. I'd also love to see your paintings, so please send them in to tutokid.com. I hope to see you soon.